Guys, welcome back to another episode of Smiley Said It. Is it a gender war or is it just women not having to deal with the bullshit that we used to have to deal with in the patriarchy? The term gender wars is not really new, but it has been circulating a lot on social media platforms, and it's pretty annoying because anytime a woman tweets or posts or make a video about feminism or her experience being a woman, whether it's dating, not being paid equally, for some reason, there are always people in the comments, especially men, they're like, I'm so tired of these gender wars. Can we stop? Can we stop? Can we all just get along? We need each other. You need men. You need men. There is no gender war unless you genuinely believe women are capable of hating men to the point where we have control over how society moves. No, it's not a gender war. It's actually just women responding to the patriarchy. It's actually just women responding to misogyny and sexism, and we're just fed up. We're tired of being oppressed, so we're talking about it. We're getting into communities and we're getting on podcasts, we're getting on platforms, and we're talking about our experiences with men. And I can understand why there are men that take it as an attack, so to speak, but we're not attacking men per se. I believe that a lot of women are attacking the patriarchy. Unfortunately, a lot of men are socialized to hate women. You know, it's not on single mothers to wrap things up in a bow and present it to be this pretty thing. A lot of single mothers are doing what they can do to take care of their children with the resources that they have. Unfortunately, we have people calling that generalizing men. We have to make generalizations. We have to. If we're going to talk about the real stuff, the real deal, we got to talk about generalizations, okay? It's just women responding to being mistreated, being raped, being murdered. The femicide rate is insane. Us sharing our stories about men where it's not all men, obviously, but it's always a man. That's what it boils down to because men know this already. Men know what men be doing. I remember I was called a misandrist because I told this man, I was like, even men are afraid of other men. So how are you confused about women being on guard and having our heads on a swivel just to make sure that we are safe? You know, recently a young lady was bludgeoned to death at her job, literally with cameras and everything, by a man because he simply didn't like her. If we're responding to that, is that hating men or is that hating the system that was created for men to feel so bold? These are the topics we're talking about. And you have people being like, oh, I don't understand why we have so many. Why are we arguing? Why can't we all just get along? We will get along when misogyny and hate crimes towards women stop. We will stop talking about this when it stops happening. We will stop talking about it when it stops happening. Let me tell you this. A woman becoming celibate and child free and remaining single and not participating in none of this, the heteronormativity actions of it all, she's not a man hater. She doesn't hate men. She hates the system. She hates how society has socialized what her purpose is supposed to be like, and she doesn't want it. Like myself, I don't want to be a mother. I don't want to be married. I don't want a man living in my house unless he's going to actually contribute, right? And not just pay bills. I mean, actually clean. I mean, actually cook. I mean, actually put shit away, you know? Like, actually be a contributing member to the household. Even then, I still don't want to live with a man. I'm going to be honest. We're saying, stop raping us. Stop killing us. See, these women, they hate men. See, y'all need us. Y'all going to be end up lonely. That's the point for a lot of us. Where a lot of women would rather live on her own instead of living with a guy due to safety, because majority of domestic violence happens at the house. Single, child-free women are the safest and live the longest because we don't have a man in the center of everything, where the femicide rate, you know, which is due to a woman knowing who the person is. It's not some stranger in the bushes. Usually it's a partner or it's a man that she knows that will cause her harm. And another thing, we have to stop calling things white statistics. Yes, that is a thing. I know. I've literally read comments of men and women saying we gotta stop using these white statistics as in the black on black crimes and da 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 da. And obviously we're gonna be harmed closest to the people that look like us because of our communities, da da da. While that's all true, we have to look at statistics. We have to actually know what they mean. And it's very high in the black community unnecessarily. Well, white men get away with so much crime. How come black men can't? Whenever a black man is being held accountable for doing something so atrocious, we shouldn't be fighting for black men to get off easier than white men because they're black. We should be fighting for men, because men are men, regardless of the race, men that are violent, men that cause harm to other people should not be able to get a lesser charge because of their race, regardless of which side they're on, okay? In the male perspective, in this claim is that women don't want to marry these men. Women don't want to have children for these men. That's the war that they claim is being brought upon them, is that we don't want to deal with them. Instead of stopping and saying, why don't women want to deal with men like that anymore? They're just going to be like, y'all hate us. And it's like, y'all will always have a warm bed to sleep in. Y'all will always have a roof over your head because there will always be a woman, a pick-me that will let a bum stay in her crib and eat up all her son's fruit snacks and watch music videos and smoke weed all day. Yeah, there will always be a woman like that around. So you don't have to worry about the women that know better. Go over there where the woman will take care of a man just because she has a man, a piece of a man in the house. You don't have to worry about the women that are aware of the male behavior and socialization of how men show up in these romantic relationships that women get on TikTok complain about all the time and saying, but I'm still not going to leave him. Y'all can't tell me to leave my husband. We got kids. And why you get your ass up on TikTok talking about he's not helping? Why are you getting on TikTok saying he's comparing you to other women and saying that he settled for you because, you know, the prettier a woman is, the meaner she is. And I don't want that. So I settled for you because you're not that pretty, but you're not that mean either. So you're average. So that's why I married you. Literally, this is the type of content that a lot of these women are posting. Stop the stay-at-home wives and that whole side of TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but I do watch clips on YouTube about it. No one needs to know that your husband is trash. Some of them are in my DMs, okay? I don't need to go down the list that a lot of y'all are married to single husbands. You're married, but your husband is single. So yeah, we're not going to do that. It's a war because it's uncomfortable for a lot of men to see women fighting back and not settling and taking charge of her own life. If that's a war, then sign me up. Give me my armor. Give me my shield. Give me my knife. Give me all that. I'll go to war all day about me. I do not want my peace to be disturbed by anybody. And stop saying that women need men. Women do not need men. We are in 2025 where we can pay for services. We can pay for someone to come and fix our plumbing, our yard. We can hire people to do things. We don't need a man in the house. If you have to be needed, you're not a good person. You should be wanted, right? And the wake-up call is a lot of men are realizing that a lot of women have their own careers, their own money, their own house, their own shit. So if you're going to be in a woman's presence, you have to actually be pleasant. You actually have to be kind, nice, thoughtful, have good communication skills, educated. A lot of men are being like, oh, I actually have to be pleasant in order to be needed? You don't just need my wallet where I can just abuse and talk to you any kind of way because, you know, I'm providing you the money for the house? No, women don't need that anymore. Back then, a lot of women did for obvious reasons, right? We didn't have any rights. Be more supportive for women's rights. If you're a good person, you don't have to be offended where women are being like, stop abusing us. Listen, just actually listen to what women have to say about their lives and their experiences. And don't be so hell-bent on labeling everything as a gender war when you literally see a woman talking about her story, okay? It takes away the attention from the problem that is being addressed at hand, which is femicide, not getting equal pay, biases, which is misogyny, which is sexism, the intersectionality of it all, person of color, a black woman, queer, disabled, atheist even. There's a lot to talk about as a woman, and everything doesn't have to be about man where he needs to be the center of everything. Because when you decenter men, the first thing they're going to say is, you hate men. And it's like, no, you're just not the center of my world. Why should you be? That's all I had to say about that. It's not gender war. It's not a war. Men will always have a plethora of women around that are desperate. You don't have to worry about that. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.